Okay, coming to sit on your mat. I'm going to go through a 15-minute, hopefully, little sequence that it's all about vitality, building a little strength and energy in the body. This is all going to be about opening up the front of the chest and breathing well. So take each move as feels right for you. If practicing yoga is completely new for you, watch a few times, try things out in your body, see how it feels. Send me a message if you have any questions. Those who've been practicing for a while, practice with a bit of focus, a bit of attention. Pay attention to how the body feels, pay attention to how the breath feels. So your breath is a very good indicator as to how things are working within the body. So if in doubt, always focus on the breath being the most important thing of our practice. It ties everything together. Saying that, we'll start with a little breath practice. So just a bit of focus, and then we're going to lie down on our back. So come into a comfortable seated position for you. You could be on your knees, legs could be forward. We're looking just to ease ourselves up onto the sit bones and sit tall, tummy drawn in, shoulders released down the back. Bring your attention to yourself. Be aware of where you are in the room, where you are on your mat. Be aware of the natural flow of your breath. And we're going to deepen that. Taking an inhale now through the nose, allowing the chest to expand as you sit tall. And as you exhale, exhale everything out. Ribs draw in, lower tummy draws in. Inhale deeply through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Again, inhale, almost like you're drawing the breath in. And exhale. Making a little sound with the breath now. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. And exhale. So we're going to try and continue the breath in this manner as we practice. Come to lie down on your back. Feet are hip width apart. Carefully coming down, using the elbows and settling into the mat. So the hips are slightly tucked, not hips, your pelvis is slightly tucked under, lower back pushing into the mat, shoulders are pushing down, arms next to the sides. And then we're going to inhale, raise the hips and lift the ribs and the chest up, pushing into the shoulders, pushing into the heels, and exhale, allow the back to roll back down to the mat. Inhale, lift through the front of the body, exhale, rolling back down. And again, inhale, hips coming up first, ribs lift, exhale, allowing yourself to roll back down. This time we're going to start to join in the arms. Inhale, raise the arms overhead, reach back behind you, press the hands to the mat, and then exhale, allow yourself to come back down to the mat, arms next to the sides. Inhale, lift through the front of the body, big reach overhead, and then exhale, rolling yourself back down. Again, inhale, pushing into the heels, reaching overhead, exhale, allowing yourself to come back. And again, inhale, reach up and over. And this time as you come back down to the mat, we're going to lift the shoulders up and reach the arms next to the thighs. Inhale, coming back down. This time we're not lifting the hips, just reaching overhead. And then exhale, curling up, pushing the tummy down, reaching forward if you can. Inhale, reaching overhead. Exhale, lifting up, looking towards the knees, pushing the tummy down into the mat. Inhale, last lift overhead. Exhale, reaching up and forward. And hold for a moment if you wish to make it a little harder. And release. Okay, bringing the knees towards the chest. Allow yourself to hug those knees as tight as you can and maybe roll a little side to side, release the hips a little bit. And we're going to rock to sit up. If you know rocking's not going to work for you, come over onto your side, push yourself up to sit. Or we're going to take a couple of rocks here and come to sit. So again, going to come onto our knees, either going to come forward over the cross-legged, or you can swish your legs round to the sides and come over gently onto hands and knees. If you find that you get sore knees, put a blanket or something underneath. Give yourself a little bit of cushioning. Okay, gripping with the fingertips, palm, knuckle area, the palm is pushing down, chest lifted, and you're pushing yourself away from the mat. Tummy is drawn in, top of the feet are pressing down, knees are hip width apart for our tabletop position. Inhale, chest coming forward, chin lifts, exhale, round in the back, pushing the mat as firmly down as you can. Inhale, extend through the front of the spine. Exhale, round the back and pushing down. Inhale, coming forward for this extension. Exhale, rounding through the back, and then coming back to this tabletop neutral position with the back. Okay, I'm going to extend the table now. So reaching forward with your left hand, reaching back with the right foot, and either keeping the fingers and the toes pressing down or drawing the tummy in and reaching the arm forward, legs reaching back. So reaching through the fingers and the toes as much as possible. Maintaining that nice steady breath that we started with as much as possible, keeping the tummy drawn in as well. Exhale, return to the mat. Now we're going to come into the other side. Reaching with the fingers, reaching back with the toes, and either just pushing here, keeping this nice, strong, steady base here, or you're going to reach forward and back. A nice, steady breath. And releasing it down. So keeping the knees where they are, keep pushing the tops of the feet to the mat. We're going to reach the arms forward for a puppy. Thumbs come to touch if you can, reaching the hips back. And as you reach the hips back, the head drops between the arms. Maybe the head comes to the mat. And focusing on the breath here. So sometimes it's nice to move within the poses, so maybe have a wiggle if that feels good for you. If you find that this is too much on your shoulders, you can come onto the elbows. Or those of you that want to build a little bit more strength, activate into the upper back, press into the fingertips, and bring the arms strong. Bringing the hands back underneath, we're going to come into a downward facing dog. So tucking the toes behind, sinking the hips back towards the heels, and lifting the hips back and up for downward facing dog. Maybe you're going to keep pedaling the feet, keep bending into the knees, a bit like cycling. Or maybe you like to settle into both heels, reaching the hips back and up, pushing into the fingertips, pushing into the knuckle area of the palms, keeping the shoulders open as much as possible, shoulders away from the ears and tummy firmly drawn in. So from here, we're going to come forward into a high plank. So bringing your shoulders over the wrists, and we're going to drop to the knees. Elbows are going to bend in next to the ribs for a lower down through a version of chaturanga. Bringing the elbows forward, pushing into the mat. Palms are, hands are spread, and you're going to bring the chest forward for a version of Sphinx. So bringing the kneecaps up from the mat, firm legs, trying to push the pubic bone down towards the mat. Tummy's pushing towards the mat, ribs are coming forward, chest coming forward, and the gaze is nice and steady to the front. Nice and long in the back of the neck. Long, steady breath. Drop yourself back down to the mat, hands come next to the ribs. Draw the tummy in first, so you're lifting the tummy and the hips back and up. As you push into the hands, tuck the toes, and come back to downward facing dog. So from down dog, we're going to come back into that high plank, squeeze the right knee towards the chest and step the foot forward. So you may need to move it once you come onto the knee. So come down onto the left knee, untuck the toes on that left side, maybe move that right foot forward so that you're coming into this very low lunge and come up. So think, rather than collapsing down towards the mat and getting all loosey-goosey, you want to draw the tummy in, lift the chest, push the hips, almost like we're sliding them forward rather than down. Shoulders are released down the back, maybe raise the arms up. Going to take a couple of circles here with the arms. Exhale, reaching the arms back, circling them down and forward. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, circling them back. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, circle back. One more time. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, circling it back. This time, hands to the mat, tuck the toes on the left foot. Push out the hands so you've lifted the chest to draw that leg back out and come back into downward facing dog. Inhale, squeezing the left knee into the chest, coming into that high plank, stepping the left foot forward and settling onto the right knee. So again, if you need to, pad up underneath the knee. You want the kneecap down. You don't want to be coming onto the side of the leg here. Drawing the tummy in, lifting the chest, shoulders are down the back. Pushing firmly into that front foot as well. And thinking about this, sliding the hips forward. Inhale, reaching the arms up. Or maybe you prefer to stay here with the arms balanced on the front of the thigh. Exhale, sweeping the arms back and round. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, sweeping it back. Inhale. Exhale to come back. Inhale, reaching forward. Exhale, circling back. Hands to the mat. Tuck the toes on the right foot, lift the knee up from the mat, push into the hands to create space, and stepping back, downward facing dog. So from down dog, we're going to come forward again to another high plank. You're just going to hold for a moment here. Now either come to the knees and lower or bend the elbows, pitch the weight forward, lower chaturanga for a moment, and untuck. Shoulders are releasing back, hands are still pushing into the floor and thinking about bringing the chest forward for a version of Cobra. From here, you're going to drop yourself down to the mat, interlace the hands behind, lift through the front of the chest, reaching the hands back. If you wish, bringing the feet up as well for a version of Salavasana. Releasing it down, hands next to the ribs. Inhale, lift the chest, shoulders rolling down the back, lifting the chin slightly. Exhale, tummy draws in, coming back to the knees, and back to downward facing dog. So either just stepping the right foot forward, or those of you that like to come into three-leg down dog, you can sweep that right leg back and up. Then come into the high plank, squeezing the right knee into the chest and stepping the right knee forward. No, the right knee, the right foot. Inhale. This time staying up on the foot of that left leg, bringing the hands behind. This time the same, interlace the fingers behind, lift the chest as we just did lying down. From here, we're going to place that left heel down, so spinning the left hip all the way out and lunging towards this right side. Tummy's drawn in, shoulders released down the back, reaching through the fingertips for warrior two. Turning the right palm up, reaching up towards the ceiling, left hand down towards the left leg for this reverse warrior. And then from here, we're going to take it into an extended side angle. Bring the right elbow to rest on the right thigh and sweep this left arm over. return into the mat. We're going to turn to place the left hand down and bring the right hand down and step back to downward facing dog. So going through that same little sequence on the left side. So left foot back, lift through the heel. So really trying to keep the hips square here, or you can just squeeze the knee into the chest, pushing away from the mat to step the foot forward, staying on the toes of the right foot. Inhale, rise up for our high lunge this time. Staying on the toe of the back foot, reach the arms out and back, chest lifted, placing the foot down, turning everything open to the side so that you can reach through the arms, rolling the shoulders down, reaching through the fingertips. Hand comes to the back leg, reaching up through that left side, and then coming forward, elbow to the thigh, sweeping this right arm over, all the way over next to the ear for the extended side angle. And coming down, this time, bring the fingertips to the mat, or just step forward without that. Fingertips down, feet come a little bit wider, drop the head, drop the neck, and allow yourself to come into quite a loose forward fold. Maybe you wish to hold on to each elbow, and think about raising the hips up as you focus on the breath. Inhale, bending the knees quite deeply, and unroll to stand, big reach up, reach through the side of the body. Exhale, releasing it down. Okay, so the last little thing I want to do before we come down to the mat is we're going to come into a chair pose. So we're going to keep the feet, I'm going to keep the feet hip width apart, and we're going to start to sink the hips back and down as if coming down into a chair. I want to see how low you can come. So some people can come a lot lower than others. Try and keep the heels down if you can, and you can hold here, maybe take the hands to the center, or maybe you're going to reach up. So spiral in the arms, reaching forward, and maybe lift the gaze. Bring the hands down the center. We're going to move the weight into our left side, and as we do, we're going to straighten up that left leg, reach the right leg back, and lift through the heel. So this is just a slight lift. Those of you that are used to coming into Warrior 3 can come all the way in. So to do that, you're bringing yourself almost a T shape, and then come back up to stand. Coming into the other side, we're just taking this little balance, focusing on the breath and the balance at the same time. So straightening up the right leg, reaching this left one back. Hands can be on the hips if that feels better for your balance, and you're just lifting up slightly. So if balance is new for you, you can just lift a little, or you can think about reaching back with that left leg as you bring the chest forward and down with at the front, and then coming up to stand. I'm going to return to sit. Inhale, raise the arms, press the palms. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, step or jump back and lower. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Step or jump, cross the legs and sit. So it's quite a quick way to start our day. I would encourage you to add in a few more moves, those of you that are used to a longer practice. If this is totally new to you, you're going to stop here. That was probably really quite intense if it's totally new to you. So lie down here. You can lie on the back, you can lie on your side, whatever feels comfortable for you, or stay seated. And I'm just going to finish with one of the closing poses, which is again about bringing the focus back to the breath. It's about quietening the body, quietening the mind. So sitting tall, just as we did at the start, tummy drawn in, crown of the head lifted. You're going to bring your arms around the back, either clasp onto the wrists, maybe push the fists together, hold on to the elbows, and either staying upright, or those of you who wish to come forward, you're going to tuck the chin in and lower forward towards the mat. And you're going to take nice, long, steady inhale, steady exhale. Each breath becoming a little slower, a little longer, and then release and come up.